So the last step in the CRUD process that we haven't covered is destroy. So let's take a look at that. If we take a look between videos, something that I did is I updated the initialization method of our addEditPersonView model to check to see if the ID is null. If the ID is null, then we create a new model and use that reference for when we do our save. So in addition to our save command, we now want a delete command. So I'm going to type in I command, delete command. And just for the record, we're going to be horrible, mean programmers, and we're not going to bother prompting the user whether or not that they want to delete the record and whatnot. We're just going to go ahead and do it. If they screwed up, it's their fault. And so I'm going to say delete command equals new command. And here again, I'm going to use a very simple lambda expression. I'm going to say do delete. I'm going to go in here. I set our return type to void. I'm also going to make this method protected. Okay. And the next thing we want to do is say dbService.delete person. And we're just going to pass the ID. And our interface doesn't have this method described, so I'm just going to use the nice Xamarin Studio refactoring tools to quickly implement this. And also, if I try to build, I'll get a compile error because I haven't updated our Realm DB service yet. All right, and to implement this delete person method, we're going to say realm instance remove, and then we're going to get our person by ID, like so. And that's going to drive me nuts. Let's see if I can't rename that. Now if we compile, everything should be good, and it is. So the last thing we need to do is go into our person page code behind, and I want to add a delete button in the upper right of our application. So let's say create delete button so I can easily reference this method from both constructors. And I can say toolbar items add new toolbar item. And we're going to look through the constructors here. I want to give it a name of delete. We don't have any fancy icons. And I want to say the action is, and I'm going to say binding context as person page view model, or add edit person view model dot delete command dot execute. And then last, I'm not going to bother with those last two parameters. And I'm probably missing a parentheses. Can never have enough parentheses. And like I said, not enough parentheses. Need more. And execute does not take 0 parameters, so we're also going to pass null. All right, managed to flood my way through that. If we go into our edit person view model, I'm going to put a breakpoint at do delete to make sure I wired that up correctly. I wouldn't put it past me to screw this up as well. So now if I click, I see my delete button. I'm going to hit it. Looks like that's firing off as it should. And I'm going to let this resume. And now we get a runtime error. And if we look at the runtime error, we see we cannot remove Realm object outside write transactions. So let's fix that. So how do we go ahead and set up a transaction with Realm? Well, I'm going to cut and paste from the Realm website. And I'm just going to change a few things here. Realm instance, begin write. And so if we take a look at what I just copied and pasted, you'll see I have my using statement here. It's getting a reference to the transaction, and then I'm saying realm instance remove, and then I'm committing the transaction like so. And what this will do is we'll just kind of help make sure that we don't have two processes trying to do the same thing at the same time. If this fails, it will rewind our transaction. So now let's try this again, hit delete, didn't get an error, and now when we come back, Zach is no longer with us. Well, I mean, he's alive, but he's not in this address book. Anyways, So that's how you can complete the CRUD cycle and delete or destroy Realm objects using Realm Xamarin.